Your fear to spend on things to help you grow is actually valid. When you talk about coaching sessions and workshops, hiring people to take things off your plate, those things don't typically feel like needs when you've been taught to survive all your life. Because when you come from lack, every dollar that you spend has a purpose. It has to have a direction. It has to go somewhere. When it comes to it, for you, it's not just currency, it's also safety. And so food needs to be on the table and the bills need to be paid on time. And you can't afford to do the things that does not align with that.
Nobody is better than you. They may be luckier than you because they may have a little bit more knowledge that you don't have. But that can change today. It could change tomorrow. Let's get started.
People who didn't grow up poor may never understand that type of attachment, but I did grow up poor and I understand what that attachment feels like. It comes across as if you can't find your way to actually enjoy life ever. You're always on a hamster wheel of trying to understand how to just make it to the next thing, how to just survive the next day, how to just push the car just a little bit further down the road. And holding on to money too tightly, it's like planting a seed. If you plant that seed and you refuse to water it because you're scared that you will run out of water, eventually it's never going to produce what it needs to produce. You're protecting what you have, but you're never giving it a chance to grow. When I hit my lowest financial point, I was very afraid of being broke. And I would honestly say, like, when you have fears, you need to check your fears at the door, because if you're not checking your fears at the door, your fears can become a part of your reality. You will have so much fear that you will bring it into your physical space. I used to look at money as something that I had to keep. If I spent it, I would lose my safety net. If I spent it, that means it was going to take me a longer time to get it back again. If I spent it, I may needed it for something more important than what I spent it on in the first place. And for me, that became such a bottleneck. My mindset behind that became a bottleneck in my life. That mindset kept me in survival mode and not creation mode. And suppressing your creation, which is the reason that you're here in the first place, is to create. When you suppress that, then you are also taking yourself out of the equation to enjoy life. Life fulfillment is never in reach for you. You're always on the other side of that because you're not doing the very thing that you were sitting here to do, which is to be a creator, to contribute, to connect to all the things in our society. I remember when I wanted to invest in my first coach, it was a $1,500 coaching session. And if you and I know anything about spending $1,500 on just anything, especially growing up in poverty, if you did like I did, then spending $1,500 on something that is not a necessity is just like gut wrenching inside. You will go on and on and on and on and on about whether or not you should make that purchase. And I get it. It's a big purchase, probably for a majority of people. And for some of us, that's a rent payment in a month. That's a couple of months of utility bills, you know? So you're always measuring against what you can spend this money on instead from a need aspect, instead of realizing that if I poured this into an investment into myself, I probably won't be in a space of needing. And it took me so long to get that reality. Like, girl, if you just invest the money into something that can make you more money, you won't be in this state of mind the next month, the next 2 months, the next 6 months, the next year. Even if we can get to a place where it is the next year or two, that would have been fine for me. But I knew that I couldn't go on much longer living my life with this painstaking mindset of always penny pinching and counting something and never wanting to depart with my money. Someone told me before, survival spending keeps you afloat, but growth spending builds you a boat. And when they said it to me, it went over my head. But now in my life, I realize exactly what that means. The more you grow and the more you allow your money to grow, because money likes movement. It doesn't like to be still, and it doesn't like for you to be stingy with it. It likes to be on the go. Money loves direction. And so the direction that you put the money in determines whether or not you get to build the boat or whether or not you get to stay afloat. And sometimes we are more focused on our survival nature instead of our thriving nature, that we'll pour the money into the survival thing first. When in reality, if we pour the money into the thing that makes us thrive, we won't have to cycle back around to survivalship. And the reason that I broke that mindset is because I got tired of being a smart struggler. That's what I call it. I was struggling smartly. And I was a person who knew exactly what I needed to do and how I needed to do it. And I knew exactly what I needed to do with my money, but I was still choosing struggle mode. I was still choosing poverty. Being broke is different. That's economic, but poverty is always a state of mind. And yeah, we can debate that all day long, and people can say, well, there's millions of people in poverty right now. And I will tell you that if they knew something different, if they had a different decision that they can make, if they thought that the trajectory of their future would be different, they would not not be in poverty, because poverty is always about a state of mind. It's about what we feel like our next available in reach decision could be, and what's attainable for us to produce more, and what state of our life should we retreat to. Here's what I learned. There are 3 levels of money energy that taught me how to get out of the state of surviving smarter and really thriving harder. Level 1 is survival money. You trade your time for your stability. You focus on your needs and not your growth. And if that is your focus all the time, your money is always poured into survival. This is the money that you make every time you get it. It goes somewhere immediately that you don't get to see any benefits or rewards from it, other than the fact that it provides you survival things in your life, your home, your groceries, your utilities, and things of that nature. That's your survival money. Majority of Americans are working every single day for survival money. They never have a chance to get to level 2. Level 2, circulation money. Circulation money, you start moving money through education. You start moving money through mentorship. You start moving money through delegation. Circulation money is all about you teaching money how to multiply. You're teaching money how to go somewhere and bring you more money. You're deploying, and then you are letting the machine work for you. That's your circulation money. That's going to be the money that you use to invest in things, whether it is going to be the stock market, whether you're doing options trading, whether you're putting it into yourself and investing in your education, because that education is going to produce more skills for you. Whatever it is circulation money. This is the money that we're going to be putting a direction towards. This is the money that has a destination. It's going somewhere that is going to return to you a higher return. Level 3 is going to be your sovereign money. Money that works for you. It makes decisions from alignment and not from anxiety. You are not emotionally spending and making decisions with your sovereign money. Most people never move past level 1 because they think that their bank account is the problem, and they think that their only source of income is usually that paycheck that they get from their bank, but it's not. It's your relationship with money. It is your relationship with money that is the problem. You will never attract something that you fear. You will only attract opportunities that match your level of trust. So when you're saying, I can't afford to invest in myself, what you're really saying is, I don't trust that what I'm going to invest is going to bring me more in return. What you're saying is that I don't trust that if I invest in myself, that it's going to produce better things for me. That's what you're saying. That's where your poverty pattern lives, not in your pockets, but in your perspective. Your perspective have to change in order for you to get more out of your life, in order for you to avoid or come up out of poverty. You have to start reframing how you're going to spend your money and what that spend will do for you, what that purchase would do for you. So instead of saying, I have to buy this class, this mentorship, I have to buy this training, what we can say is, I am about to buy myself more time. I'm about to buy myself more education. I'm about to buy myself more opportunity. I'm about to buy myself speed, cutting the timeline in which I get there, freeing up the time in which it will take me to do this thing on my own. Somebody else is going to cut that timeline for me. We have to start looking at perspective and reframing how exactly that we are going to go about spending our money. Now, this doesn't mean you take from your home of surviving and then replace it with those things, unless you know that you have a plan and a strategy in order for you to get those things done in a time frame where it will not bankrupt your life. You can spend the next 3 years guessing your way through trial and error, or you can invest in one thing that compresses those 3 years into 3 months. This is the moment that you stop seeing money as scarcity. You start seeing money as seeds that you're watering in that soil, and then you're waiting for the plant to harvest. You're waiting for that crop to harvest. Life is hard. We know the economy is crazy. We know things are happening in our government. We know. But if we focus on those things being the factors of how we can live our life and how much fun we can have and how much fulfillment we can have and how much joy we can have, we'll never have it. Because if you and I both know that those factors are beyond our control, and when things are not in our control, it is not for us to obsess over. Those people are going to do what those people do anyway. It is up to us to get up every day and take control of our own lives in spite of. So remember, money loses power. It does. Depending on what hands it falls into, it will lose power. But only when it is used for survivalhood. Money only loses power, but when it is used for survival. When it is used to thrive, money is powerful. Money grows when you let it flow, not just to meet your needs, but to expand your capacity. Staying the same is costing you more. Staying the same is more expensive than it is to grow. And though it may seem like in this stage of your life right now, you don't have enough money and you're not doing enough and you can't do all of these things that you desire desire to do, because again, you're going back to the thought process that you don't have enough money. I want you to know that every single time that you don't take the action to become better in the mind from the inside out first, that it is costing you more money, more time, and more energy, and a life less fulfilled than what it would be if you just did the hard part. I never said it would be easy. I said it was simple, but it will take you to get up and take action. Every day that you delay your growth, you are paying interest in stagnation. This doesn't mean that you have to wait until you're perfect and it all makes sense. No, start where you are. Wherever you are right now, start from that point, because the starting line looks different for each of us. I come from nothing and I have no guidance at all. I taught myself every single thing that I know. Every single thing that I know, I've taught myself. And I had to make a decision one day to get up and just start. And I started from the lowest. I started from having no knowledge. I started from having no support. I started just from where I was. And every day that you do this thing, you consistently practice this thing, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger for you. You get more powerful and more powerful on the journey. Just start from where you are. Because like I said before in the previous videos, whether you're going to do it today or not, the time is going to pass you by. So if you do it today and 30 days go by, you're going to wish 30 days ago that you just started. Just start. If you're ready to rewire how you think about your mind, your money, your habits, all of those things, perspectives, you should join the waitlist for my book, Rewired. And I want you to read it. I want you to take it and read it and understand how to rewire your mind, your habits, all the things that I've learned along my journey in this last 5 to 7 to 10 years. It's in that book. And I can't wait for you to read it. Until next time, guys, I'm Nicole Swanson. Bye.